Hi folks, Sean at 333 Performance. Today we thought we'd kind of give you a little behind the scenes of what it takes to build a drag bike. A lot of people know us for our performance work. We do a lot of tuning, we build a lot of street bikes, but we also do a lot of drag bikes. We have 3 currently that we run, and we're building another one for a friend of ours. This used to be my old 2000 Dyna, and when I first started out in this business I did use this as a race bike. It's not quite to the point that it is now when I started with it. So we've made a lot of changes to it, and we thought it'd be kind of cool to show you some of the stuff that we actually do and why we changed the stuff. So on this particular bike, we started with the 2000 Dyna. The engine was already done. We're not going to really do a whole lot with it. It's a 100 horse, 95 cubic inch engine, twin cam, about 100 foot-pounds of torque. And it used to run 12 flats. So we've decided that since we sold this to a friend of ours, he wants to do some upgrades to it, that it'd be a great time to showcase the upgrades that we're going to do. So we're going to do a wheelie bar slick to this bike. We're also changing the front end on this bike. We put a Buell front end on it. We took the Dyna front end off that was on there. It was a fully adjustable front end, but the forks were about half the size. So it was actually a Dyna Super Glide is what they call them, and it had a very adjustable front end, but it still had some weak points to it. So when you're racing, you kind of want to beef up the weak points. And one of the ways of doing it is we were able to get onto Craigslist, and we found a Buell front end for this bike. So it's not without its problems though, as far as mounting it up and putting it together, and we'll go through some of those steps. But just a kind of an overview that we don't only just build great street bikes, but we do build some great race bikes too. So in the end, this was a 12-second bike. We're hoping to get this into the 11s, doing what we do. We can always add more power to it, but being that this is going to be the first year for this guy to ride this bike, we got to take it a little bit slow for him because he's all brand new into this. So we're just going to make it more stable for him and make it a really fun bike. So some of the things that we're doing building a race bike is we're going to have to go through the electrical on all this and change some stuff over in order for it to work properly. We're actually getting rid of a lot of wiring. In the race world, it's easier to go faster by reducing weight than it is sometimes to increase power. So when you have big fat guys like us, it's better to shave weight, and we can't do it, so we shave it on the bike. And then we have to add power to it after that. But anyways, we're going to go through, we're going to fix some of the wiring here. It's going to only have a tach, no turn signals, no blinkers. We'll have a headlight. We're trying to work on figuring out what headlight to use. We've got a couple different options. It has adjustable ignition in it. The swing arm back here has been extended 3 inches. We had cut the swing arm. We put a block in here, cut it. And we actually have what's called a reverse shift cable. So when the rider is sitting on the bike, he'll actually be able to push this pedal down, and it's going to shift it up in gears once we get this fully adjusted and mocked up for him. And then when he gets up off the bike, he has the regular shifter to shift it back down. It's got a set of mid controls on it. So it's going to be a really cool setup. It's going to help him from keeping this bike from doing big old wheelies. We have sent the tins out to be repainted. This bike was black. The customer has gone with an orange with a couple of black stripes. It's going to look really tough, especially with this Buell front end, and as he calls it, a big scooter fender on the front. But it's got a wide glide fender on the back. It's got a custom tank, and right now it's out being painted, and we'll show you that in the next video. But just to kind of show you what it takes, this bike he bought for $6,000. He'll have probably about $10,000 into it in the end to make it a cool little race bike. So it just goes to show you, if you've got a nice bike sitting in the garage and you're not doing anything with it, it's not maybe worth you selling it, and you have a need for speed like we do, then let's go drag racing. We'll help you turn it into a drag bike. So in this particular case, that's what we're doing for this guy. Is he wants to come out and have some fun with us, and he doesn't want to bring his 1,000-pound dresser out. So now we're going to give him a 700-pound Dyna instead. So again, it's all about cutting weight. It's about gearing these bikes. This has a chain drive on it. We can do some inner primary gearing changes. Right now it's running a 24 front sprocket, a 32 rear sprocket here. And then in the actual chain sprockets, he's got a 2351 on the back. And you can adjust all this because it's all about getting the power to the ground. You want your torque and your horsepower to be right at its maximum and be able to use all of it. So if you're not using it all, then you got to figure out, well, what can we do different to use up all the power? If the tire's spinning, if it hooks up too hard, there's different things that you're going to have to do to figure this out. But we just thought it'd be kind of fun to show you what goes into building a drag bike. It's very labor intensive for sure, and we have a lot of fun doing it. We only do one or two a year because it is so labor intensive. And right now we're slowing down just a little bit, so now that's the time to do it. Normally during the summer we're just so busy that we don't have time for it. So hopefully our stuff is ready to go. And we've had a crazy season with all the rain, so we haven't been out the track much either. But just to kind of go through, show you what we got going on here, just some cool little tricks, cool little mods, and we'll continue this here in the future. New for 2019 is a totally new restored 2000 Dyna Drag Edition. New paint job, everything freshened up, fuel front end, Hogworks headlight. Our friends over at Vitale's painted this bike for us. They did a really nice job. They do good work for a reasonable amount of money, so thank you to them.